What's up, everybody? You're watching Poot's Garage. I am sitting underneath my 1982 Chevy K30, and there is no front suspension or anything under here. So let's change that. Let's get a Dana 60 put under here. Let's get some Off-Road Designs custom rate leaves put under here. Let's do this. So if you're new here, this is my 1982 Chevy K30. It's a single cab, single wheel, single guy, and single digits in the bank account. So this is what we got going on. This truck is a factory 454 big block. I've got FI Tech fuel injection on there, and there's a small camshaft and different things in there I did years ago. We've got that dump truck transmission, the SM465. We got Dakota digital gauges, so it's a good little platform. But this video is kind of special to me because of this guy. Ever since I bought this truck, it's supposed to have a Dana 60 because it's a 1-ton, but it hasn't. I kind of got ripped off, or maybe the seller just didn't know, but either way, I bought it and it had a Dana 44 under it. So now, this video, I finally get to put a Dana 60 under the front of my truck. I've been waiting this day for a long time. And you know it's a Dana 60 because of these huge hubs. It's got kingpins instead of ball joints. The short side of the axle, the leaf spring, uses 1 U-bolt and 2 bolts. And overall just has a massive center section. And we're gonna be hanging this axle on a set of ORD custom rate leaf springs. These things are awesome. These springs are good for about 5 inches of lift, so that should set me up exactly where I want to be on this truck. And then we're going to stuff some 40-inch tires under there. And this is the pile of parts that we got to put on this thing still. We got crossover high steer, we got extended shock mounts, new shocks, new U-bolts, stainless steel brake line kits, all the good stuff. Pitman arm, spring plate. So stick around and watch my dreams come true. Before we get too crazy into this video, I just like to know where you guys are watching from. I do this every week, so let's head to the map. And we're at the map. So, check it out. Yeah, just let me know where you're from and I'll put a red pin on your map. We got 10 locations to do this week because I kind of forgot to do it last week. I kind of ran out of time, didn't really have time to film this little segment, so let's get through these real quick. First up is Jefferson, Oregon. Then Waterloo, Illinois. Aberdeen, South Dakota, Olive Branch, Mississippi, Palm Springs, California, Summers, Connecticut, hope I said that right, Cherry Valley, California, Safford, Arizona, La Vernia, Texas, and last we come from the little tiny country of Qatar. I really love seeing the faraway ones in these other countries. It's really incredible. Alright, that's enough map for this week, so I do want to mention I still have stickers, so if you want one, send me your address to pootsgarage@gmail.com, and let's get back to the video. So while I get these springs ready to go under, I want to talk to you guys. We are almost at a milestone that I've been trying to get to for a very long time. So I started YouTube, I had to go back and look. I started back in, I think, 2010 or earlier. So 2010 is about when I got my first subscriber. So that's been, math, 12 years ago. That's a long time. It's a long time to be playing around on this website. So I've been making videos for a long time. It never took off. I'm not that great, you know. I don't have that natural, I don't know, YouTube ability that a lot of those guys have, you know, people like Cletus McFarlane or, you know, Demolition Ranch, people that are, you know, uber famous now. But we've been doing it for a long time. But I never really took it that serious until the last year was the most serious I got. So I used to get paid by YouTube a long time ago. And then, you know, it's probably, what, 6, 8 years ago. And then they changed their rules. And so I was too small. I got kicked off. Well, I didn't get kicked off, I just stopped getting paid. And I was only making like 30 bucks a month or something like that. So it wasn't much, but it was nice to have that little extra motivation. But now, since I've been pushing hard since about November, December, and really trying to get the subscribers up, I got the number of subscribers and hours. We are doing really good. So probably, what, like a year ago, we got our subscribers. I got 1,000 subscribers. So I'm super happy, super grateful to every single one of you, and we're still needing more. So thank you very much. And next was we needed the hours. I needed 4,000 hours watched within the last year period. Now that's where this gets fun. So the fun part is now that we are almost at where we need to be. I don't know what I'm doing here. For hours, that is. So we are sitting at 3,900 hours. Just past that this week. No thanks to you guys, as usual. So we only got 100 more hours that I gotta get. And I'm pretty positive I can easily get that here by the end of the year. You know, we're December, I don't know what this is, 13th, 14th, something like that right now. And yeah, we can get that. So if you guys are still hanging with me, do me a favor and please watch these videos for as long as you possibly can stand to stare at my face or hear my voice. I know I'm not the prettiest guy in the world, but I'd appreciate it. And I know I'm not the, you know, the greatest YouTuber in the world already, or even in the top, you know, 50% probably. I'm horrible at this. I think I'm horrible at this, but hey, you never know. Things could take off. Somebody, you know, y'all might like the way I talk or do something, but so I know I'm not the greatest at this, and I try to improve a little bit each video. I'm trying to figure something fun out to do to make myself stand out a little bit at least, but it's hard. This is a hard thing to do. So I appreciate every one of you guys watching out there, you know, wherever you're at. And hopefully you guys notice the work I put into these videos, especially the last year or so, how much I've been trying to improve and make things better and more entertaining for y'all. And getting rich has never been, you know, my plan with this YouTube thing. I could never get rich off this, you know. My insecurities would drive me too crazy for that. But it's nice to have a little incentive. That's all I see it as, incentive to keep going on, you know, make it a little funner and a little better. Kind of helps do something with your hobby, you know. It takes your hobby to the next level when you start sharing it with other people. And I'm pretty sure my, you know, checks from YouTube were probably going to be about the same as they were when they first cut me off years ago, and I had, you know, a quarter of the subscribers and half the watch hours. But things change, and that's just the way they are. So I'm still not going to be getting a whole lot of money out of this, but it'd be nice to have that incentive. And if I can get it big enough to help pay for these projects, would be awesome. But I don't plan on making a living off this stuff. So yeah, hopefully you guys are sticking around for whatever this journey brings. You know, hey, if it blows up, then you'll be part of it from the beginning. And if not, well, hopefully you'll be entertained for a little while. I was about to install the leaf spring through here, but then I noticed my steering box is right above the leaf spring. So I actually want to put this pitman arm on before I put the spring on. Just might make life a hair easier. I'm not sure how I'm gonna get this thing on there, like torqued wise, but we're gonna give it a shot. So this is a brand new PSC steering box. It's pre-drilled for hydraulic assist, which I might take advantage of later, but I'm not gonna do that anytime soon. But they come with a red line here. So basically you gotta make sure the red lines are still lined up. That means the box is completely centered right there. And then the box has the large flat section in the spline for like a stock pitman arm, but this pitman arm that comes with my kit has splines all the way around, so I can put it absolutely anywhere I want. So I just gotta make sure I put that pitman arm pointing directly straight back. So let's give that a shot. I could stare at that all day, but we got more stuff to put on. So, next we got to get this axle in here. The problem with this axle right now is it's actually upside down. So I need to roll it over, and I got it on these rolling casters, whatever you want to call those. I don't know if they're just gonna want to flip over, but the way it's sitting right now is kind of like how it naturally wants to sit. So I'm gonna try and get it a little closer and then see if I can flip it over and see if that works. If not, this might get really interesting. The axle is now slid under there. That did not go as planned. So I was using these caster wheel deals here. I didn't expect them to fall off like that, but they did. And luckily this floor is nice and slippery, so things slide over it nicely. So we just barely have enough room probably to get a jack under there and get them jacked up into place where they need to be. But before I do that, I almost forgot. The short side of the axle uses a U-bolt on one end, and then on this side it actually uses a couple of bolts or studs I'm putting in there now. So, I don't know if you can see there, the studs go up here instead of a U-bolt going all the way across, because there's just no room, because this center is so big. So I wanted to make sure these threads are nice and cleaned out before I try and get some stuff in there. Alright, so I cleaned those bolt holes out on the other side. I just used one of the old bolts to kind of, you know, run it in and out and get the paint out of the threads and whatnot. So I'm going to start with the long side now, getting this thing bolted up, because it's a little lighter. I'm hoping these U-bolts are going to be long enough that I can actually just pre-install them all and then use the bolts to kind of, basically pull the axle up into the spot. It might be just long enough. Alright, I don't like how this is going together. So the bottom of your leaf spring has a pin coming through, and that pin has to go into a hole here. That's what locates your axle basically. That pin seems to be just a hair bigger than that hole, so it's really, you can't see it on the video here. Maybe you can if I get some light on it. Yeah, you can kind of see it's cutting it bigger as it goes in, and I'm really cranking on them U-bolts to get it to go in there, and it's not all the way. So I'm gonna try and get this leaf spring out of the way and see if I can't maybe run a drill bit through that lower hole and open it up a little bit more, and maybe that'll help make things go together a little easier. Front axle. I finally got my Dana 60 front end. I am so happy. This is great. So let me give you a closer look. Oh man, doesn't that look good? You can see how much droop these springs have. So we are all installed. I went through and I torqued the U-bolts. Everything is good to go. But yeah, it is looking good under there. That is a big old beast. Just look how big that thing is. So the last thing I'm gonna do tonight is I'm gonna torque up the leaf springs there and over here. I'm going to torque those up because those are still loose. And then I'm calling it quits for this weekend because it's getting late. I got to edit. And then next week, maybe we'll tackle the steering, I think. I think that's the next step, is getting the steering in. And then I got to figure out what I'm doing for those extended shock mounts.